All right. So this is the weekly Thursday weather briefing. All right. So here's just a summary of what we're going to be talking about this morning. We've got a strong cold front coming through the area as we speak. It's going to bring some gusty winds today and tonight, and there are some wind advisories in effect. And then the cold and dry weather is expected tonight through Saturday with some pretty low wind chills. And then next week, we're looking at a weather pattern change, and we'll have some warmer temperatures and a few chances for rain. And then on the marine side of things, we do have gale warnings in effect for all of our waters right now for wind gusts of 35 to 45 knots. And here's an overview of some of the headlines we have in effect right now. So like I mentioned, those gale warnings for all of our area waters, as well as wind advisories for the eastern shore and Virginia Beach and coastal Currituck. We do have some low water advisories. So these ones for the coastal zones here are for this evening. I will say we did just extend our low water advisories for the James River and the York River for this morning. All right, and then I'm just going to go over a brief summary of the weather pattern that we're expecting over the next week or so. So you can see that cold front coming through in this top left panel, and then that strong high pressure fills in behind it. So staying dry and cold tomorrow and Saturday. And then going into next week, we've got a rainier pattern setting up with some warmer temperatures on the way. So like I said, dry. This trace to a tenth of an inch of rain up here on the Maryland eastern shores from some widely scattered showers going through this morning in association with that front, but otherwise a dry front. So I just threw this in here so we could show the expected rainfall for early next week. Looking at around an inch, maybe possibly more early next week when we get that rainy pattern in here. And this is only the forecast, the precip through Tuesday. I will say that we are expecting some more precip later in the week, so the totals for the entire week will probably be maybe a little bit higher than this. All right, so moving on to wind, I do have the most recent wind observations pulled up here. I can show that. So this is most recent wind, mostly in the 20s to maybe low 30s, but this is in miles an hour, and this is wind gusts. But we did have a couple of observations here in the low 40 miles an hour, mile an hour wind gusts, and those elevated winds are going to continue through today and part of tonight, and we should see those start to diminish overnight. So looking at max wind gusts, 30 to 35 miles an hour inland, and then 40 to 50 near the coast. With that wind and the cold temperatures, we are looking at some pretty low wind chills. So tonight and tomorrow morning, as well as Saturday morning, looking at some wind chills in the teens. All right, and this is just an overview for different spots around the area of our max temperatures, minimum temperatures, and the precip. So you can see today and through this first part of the weekend, we're looking at some pretty chilly temperatures. And then you can see that warming trend as we get into next week, with some spots getting into potentially the 70s, especially for our southern areas for early next week. And you can see that reflected in the minimum temperature forecast as well, with those milder overnight temps early next week. But we got to get through some cold nights first. And then you can see how dry we are through Sunday, and then Monday afternoon, those precip chances increase across the area. All right, switching focus into our marine area. So this is the max wind gust forecast in knots for the next few days here, and most, this is going to be really through tonight. Max wind gusts around 40 to 50 knots in some of our waters. And then for max wave heights, looking at 5 to 7 feet in the bay and 7 to 10 feet or so in the coastal waters. And just looking at that thread over time, so you see today and tonight we have that significant impact level across pretty much everywhere in our waters, and then going into tomorrow, a lesser threat, but probably still have some small craft advisories in effect, and then you can see those conditions improve Saturday and onward. Alrighty, and I mentioned low water advisory, so I'll just show this real quick. In the Lower Bay and James, we've got some near low water to low water conditions expected with the next low tide cycle, as well as in some ocean locations near like Ocean City and Oyster, seeing those lower water levels, and then conditions should improve after this evening's low tide. This is the most recent drought monitor that came out this morning, or 2 days ago. Yeah. Yes, it came out this morning. That's right. Still seeing widespread drought across the area, especially on the Maryland Eastern Shore. Hopefully, when we get some rain in here next week, hopefully we can improve that. All right, and then just looking ahead, like I mentioned, we're probably going to see some above normal temperatures for next week, as well as above normal precipitation. Alrighty. So that's all I have for you today. I will stop the recording here and we can take some questions.